Hi, I'm Janine at Lamia Photography, and I'm a personal brand photographer, which means that I help entrepreneurs create storytelling photos for their websites and social media to reach their dream clients and to boost their business. So I'm Australian, if you don't know that already, and I've been living in Sweden for almost 15 years. I do speak Swedish, I promise. I do speak Swedish with most of my clients and on most of my photo sessions. I'm not quite ready to record myself in Swedish yet, so baby steps. It's a miracle that I'm recording video at all. So one thing at a time. I want to start by saying that I hate being in front of the camera. I hate being photographed, and I just think that it's the most awkward situation. And honestly, I can smile all day, but as soon as somebody takes out a camera, I don't really know what to do with my face. Everything feels wrong and unnatural. And this is why I think I photograph the way that I do, because I photograph my clients in a way that I would like other people to photograph me. So I want to be distracted. I want people to just talk to me the whole time and to bring out my expressions without me having to fake anything, because I can't do that. It just looks terrible. And I think this brings out the best results and the most natural expressions, and it's also a lot more fun. So that's why I do it the way that I do it. So let me just put myself down so you can see what I've got here. So what I wanted to talk about today was what kind of photos you should share on your website, on social media, for example, how to prepare for your photo session, how to think during your session, what to do. And then this is kind of a big one, but when poor self-image is holding you back. Yeah, I know that a lot of people they don't love the way that they look in photos, and all they can think about is the double chins or the stomach or the wrinkles or whatever, and it's really easy to put off booking a photo session then. So I'm going to address this one a little bit later on, and then I have a little offer that I would like to offer you right at the end. So what kind of photos should you be sharing? Photos of you, basically. You need to be the face of your business, and you're the one that people want to see and they want to connect with. Quite often when people like a product, they really want to see the creator behind the product. Who is it that has put their heart and soul into that business? So people need to see photos of you. And if you think about your Instagram feed, for example, so if you go back to the last 9 photos in the grid, there should be at least one photo of you in there, so it's easy to see who it is behind the business. I usually say that a combination of portraits, details, and storytelling photos are ideal, and then you can also combine them with some text, so maybe a quote or a testimonial or something like that. And that usually creates a really nice, interesting feed, and it gives people a really good feeling of who you are and what your business stands for. I think selfies are totally fine. I think they can be a lot of fun and really spontaneous, and they usually get really good results. People love selfies. Just be careful so you're not sharing them too much. I think the quality can be quite low in a lot of these photos, and it doesn't always give the right impression. So sometimes, but not always, I would say. Even if you have professional photos, I would say that it's really nice to be spontaneous and take photos yourself with your phone, for example. Just make sure that the quality it kind of fits in with all of the others. So make sure that the quality of the photos and the resolution is good, and that the light and the colors and everything is consistent with the other photos that you're sharing. So these are some photos from different sessions that I've had. And you can just see, you don't need to share photos of yourself or your face all the time. You can do something with your hands. You can include the details and your products or some tools that you use in your business. and then photos of you as well. And these could be portraits, or it could be more storytelling photos with more of the background. So a combination is really nice. And you can see in each of these collages that they're quite different in each one. And that's because the photos are really based on the colors and the feelings that each of these clients wanted to create and capture. So you can see that they're quite different. And each personality is so different. So it's really nice to be able to capture that in their photos. So it can be bright, it can be pastel, it can be more earthy. This was from France with Marlin. And so you can just see a lot of different feelings there. There aren't even any portraits or photos of her face in there, but you can feel Marlin in these photos. So having a cup of coffee, using her phone, fixing the flowers, these are the kind of photos that you can think of sharing as well. Josephine, the healthy lifestyle, her family is a big part of her business and her brand as well, and the healthy food and the healthy tea. Mette, an amazing artist, and she's a bright kind of person. It was really important that we captured that in her photos. So how to prepare for your photo session? I totally understand that investing in a photo session is a big investment, and I would never expect somebody to make that investment lightly. I plan really thoroughly for all of my sessions, and I work really carefully with my clients just to make sure that I know exactly what kind of photos they need and what kind of photos are going to attract their ideal clients and bring in more bookings and hopefully bring that money back into the company again. So I like to see the value in the photos, and I really think that it's going to, to push your business forward. So it is a big investment, but if it's possible, I think it's really worth investing in it. I think that a professional photographer should help you to really thoroughly prepare for your session, because most people don't know what they need. So I think that it's my job to help you along the way, and just to make sure you don't need to worry about anything. I try to make everything as easy as I possibly can for my clients. So one thing you can do is you can create a Pinterest board. And here, even if you're not planning on having a session anytime soon, just create a board, and then anytime you see a photo that you'd like, maybe you see a pose that you'd like, or an outfit, or some kind of location, or even a prop that you think would be good for your photos, save it in there for whenever you have your session later on. You can also save photos straight from Instagram to Pinterest, and I can put in a video in the comments just showing you how to do that. It's not difficult at all, but it's not always that obvious. Think about your brand colors. So what kind of colors are you going to have on your website, and what colors are going to pop up again and again on your Instagram feed? There's no point having pastel kind of brand colors and then wearing something really bright red in your photo session, or having a background that's just completely the wrong colors. So everything needs to work together, and the colors are a really important part of that. Think of who your dream clients are. So when I start this planning process with my clients, I always send out a questionnaire, and all of these things are included there. So I ask them to think about who they're trying to attract, because this is going to influence the kind of photos that you share. Think about what locations would suit you and would suit your brand. And so you can, and I would help you choose locations. I can give you some suggestions that I think would be good, and we could talk about what would feel right for you. It doesn't have to be in Stockholm. I travel all over Sweden. I've been to a lot of different cities for sessions, and also outside of Sweden as well. So if that sounds interesting, then just let me know, and I can let you know how that would work. Your session could be in your home. if that feels right for you and your brand. In your office, and if you don't think that your office is nice enough, or if it's not the right style, then we can create an office for you. So we could find a hotel lobby or a cafe, or maybe a co-working space, or we can even rent some kind of studio space, something like that. So there are a lot of different options. Cafes, because I work with a lot of digital nomads and people that work from cafes. We quite often end up at cafes for our sessions, and there are some really cozy ones around. So I think these look great in photos. As I mentioned, hotel lobbies, maybe something outdoors, so a forest or a beach. In Stockholm, I have a few favorite locations. So Gamla Stan, Stadshuset, Slakthusområdet is really cool for a more industrial kind of look. Djurgården, there are a million forests and heaps of water all around the place. So we have a lot of options here. Think about what props you can bring. So think about what tools you use in your business, if it's a computer or a planner, maybe a yoga mat, or anything at all. It could just be something that is personal to you that you want to write about. It could be something that is in your brand colors that will just add to the feeling of your photos. If you want to get some ideas, you can go to Pinterest, or you can go to my website. I have a lot of photos in my portfolio, and you can get some ideas of what kind of things you can bring to your sessions then. And I can help you with that as well. Decide if you want some help choosing what to wear, and if you want help with your hair and makeup. So I work with a really amazing team. To begin with, they're all really, really nice, because that's really important to me. They're also extremely good at their jobs. So if you're not sure what to wear, I can highly recommend getting Carolina Henning's help. We work together with Marlin in the Personal Brand Collective. And Carolina is amazing. She has this weird instinctive ability to know exactly what colors and styles people should be wearing. And so what she does is she meets my clients in the city usually for a cup of coffee, and then they talk about what they need or what my client needs. And then she'll take them around the shop, so usually around Orleans, and then she'll just pick out different outfits that she thinks are right for them. And then they can try them on and decide for themselves. So there's no pressure to buy anything, but it's really, really helpful just to get that hands-on help. Think about, when you're choosing your clothes, think about your brand colors. Think about what clothes would look good on your website and in your Instagram feed. Again, if you have a pastel kind of feed that has quite neutral colors, don't wear a bright red jacket. It just won't work. Choose colors that suit your own skin color and your hair color, and choose styles that suit your body shape. There's no right or wrong shape, but there are different styles of clothes that are going to enhance your best features and hide the ones that you might want to minimize. Think about what styles would suit your brand. I totally believe that you don't have to wear a suit to be professional, but you need to decide what works for your brand. Perhaps you're a t-shirt and jeans kind of person. Maybe you're like a fluffy woolly jumper kind of person, or maybe a dark suit. It's up to you. So some general things that you can think about when you're choosing your clothes. If you want a light and airy kind of look to your photos, choose light neutral colors for your clothes. As the photographer, I would also choose light and neutral colored backgrounds, and also soft light that I think is going to bring out the best look for a soft and airy kind of photo. And that would generally be early in the morning or late in the afternoon or in the evening, depending on the time of year. I know that I have this pear shape and I don't want to wear light colors from top to toe because that just makes everything down the bottom look much bigger. So if you're the same as me, then you can wear something lighter up the top and then maybe something darker down the bottom. If you want photos that are brighter and bolder with more contrast, then you need to choose colors that are brighter and bolder. So here you can go for bright red or bright purple or anything like that. And I would choose backgrounds that match this, and also choose the kind of lighting that would bring out those colors and create more contrast. So maybe in the middle of the day. I would say avoid bold patterns and small patterns and big logos, unless this really feels like you. These styles, they tend to date more easily, and if you avoid them, it just means that your photos are going to be a bit more timeless and you'll be able to use them a lot longer. If you're not comfortable showing your upper arms, just don't wear sleeveless tops or sleeveless dresses. It's as simple as that. Choose clothes that are the right size. We tend to choose clothes that are big because we maybe feel more comfortable in them. But that just means that we kind of disappear in them and our shape disappears as well. And that's not so flattering. On the other hand, don't wear clothes that are way too tight for you because, when you can see them stretching over your body or you can see the buttons are about to pop, it's not flattering either. So try to get clothes that are the right size for you. Shiny fabric I usually try to avoid because it's generally makes you look larger. So unless that's something you want, then I would say avoid shiny fabric. Accessories and layers look great in photos. So jackets, scarves, jewelry, things like that. Bring a few different outfits to your session. So we're trying to tell a few different stories and your clothes are a big part of that. So you might want one outfit that's a little bit more businessy, and then something that's a bit more casual or maybe sporty or whatever. But just have a few different outfits for the different stories and just for a bit of variety. Decide what stories you want to tell. So it's hard to include every single story in one session. But in a half-day session, for example, we can fit in quite a lot. And it's usually, we say between 1 and 3 stories. And usually it's around 3 stories that we fit in. So I would say for the first session, in general, it's usually really good to include your work story. So behind the scenes, showing how you work and where you work. And here you can include somebody else as an extra, so they could be your client, for example. So just to help other people to see themselves in your photos and to imagine themselves working with you. For your stories, don't be afraid to get personal after that. So think about your hobbies or your routines and the lifestyle that you have or the lifestyle that you want to give your clients. So think about what your audience will be able to relate to, and you can also think about the content that you're going to share. So whatever you're going to write about, it's good to have the photos that are going to match that content. So one example, if you're a yoga instructor, I would say absolutely the first story should be doing yoga. You need to show your audience that you know what you're doing. I would say also maybe your morning routine. So maybe preparing a healthy breakfast, writing in a journal, meditating, getting outdoors, anything like that I think that your clients would be able to relate to. Because I think most people who want to do yoga, then they want to have this healthy lifestyle as well. So I think they'll really be able to connect with that. Spending time outdoors in the forest or by the sea, so that could be another story. Including tools of your trade, so a yoga mat, those bands maybe, anything else that you think represents your work or anything that just makes you happy or anything that's kind of in your brand colors. And then natural portraits as well. I think it's always really handy to have these, and I include portraits in any session that I have. Don't be afraid to include your kids or your family in your photo session. So that could be one story. If you sell children's products, for example, then I would say absolutely include your family because that's what your audience will be able to relate to. If you work with animals, include all your pets or get in some other animals that you can include in your photos. So the possibilities are endless, and I'm also happy to help come up with different story ideas. As I mentioned before, decide if you need somebody to be in the photo session with you. So maybe a friend to come in and act as a client, or someone that you're teaching yoga to, for example. Think about the feeling that you want to capture in your photos. So if you want it to be fun and crazy, or if you want it to be calm and relaxed, or cozy, or active, I usually ask my clients to choose a few of these words so that we can think about it during the session and try to bring these out while we're working together. So work out how you are least like the competition and tell that story. So the whole point of storytelling photography is that you're going to be able to stop competing with other people, because your clients are going to want to work with you because it's you and because they know that you're the right person for the job. So your stories are going to help that. So I've had a lot of people ask me if it's okay to include their pets in the session, and I would say absolutely. My dog was a big part of my session, so I highly recommend it. So how to think during your photo session? Big question, what should I do with my hands? We go around with these hands all day, every day, and then as soon as somebody takes out a camera, we kind of panic and don't know what to do with them. The short answer, just do something. This is the great thing about storytelling photography. Do something, fix your hair, hold something, write something, work on a computer, put your hands in your pockets. You can just move around, just do something, and then you don't really need to think about what to do with your hands. It makes it so much easier. How do I smile naturally? Yeah, this is what I can't do if I don't have somebody helping me. As I said before, I sort of spend my sessions we chat a lot and we have a lot of fun. And if there's a particular expression that I want to bring out, then I'm going to say something to bring out that expression. So I can't just say to you, okay, smile, or look serious, or, do this or do that. I want to try to bring it out naturally, because it's a lot easier, and I think it's a lot more fun, and it's so much easier to relax then when you're just being yourself. And the results are always so much better. I can't relax in front of the camera. It takes a little while to warm up, and that's no problem at all. But I think this is where storytelling photography makes it so much easier. We're just hanging out, and eventually everybody relaxes and it gets so much easier. And this is where I think, if you can just do something that you would normally do, then it's so much easier to relax. All right, the big one, when poor self-image is holding you back. Okay, so we're kind of used to seeing ourselves in mirrors and in selfies, but this isn't really how we look. And a lot of people get a shock when they see photos of themselves in the way that other people see them. And there's not really any easy answer to this. I think basically there's no point putting off having a photo taken because you want to lose some weight, or you want to fix your hair, or you want to have fewer wrinkles. It's not really possible. You need to just be happy where you are right now, and be proud of what you've achieved and be proud of where you are. Nobody else is going to care about a stomach, or maybe double chins, or your hands, or your nostrils, or whatever. You're the only one that sees those things in the photos. Other people are just going to see your expression and the twinkle in your eye. So I think basically this is a situation where you can't wait until you feel ready. You just need to do it. And hopefully the good feelings will come afterwards. Most of my clients are running their own business, and this is a really tough thing to do. So I think that we all just need to be really proud of what we've achieved and where we are right now, and stop focusing on, I don't know, what society thinks we should be obsessing about. So I kind of feel like I don't want to be 20 again. I'm really happy with where I am right now, even with the lumps and bumps and wrinkles and everything else. So I think we need to just, be proud of us, be proud of ourselves and where we are. I can say that a good photographer is not a magician, but they will do everything they can to bring out your best features. And this could be choosing the right lens, the right lighting, and choosing angles that are flattering for you. So that's, yeah, I mean, there's no easy solution. We just need to just do it anyway. Be proud of where you are right now. My special offer. So, I know this is a really tough time for small businesses. So I wanted to try to make things a bit easier, because the reality is that it's really important to stay visible right now. And photos are really important right now, even though it may be a little bit hard to invest that money. So I'm doing a few things to try to help. I still have my half-day sessions, my full-day sessions, but I'm also offering a smaller one-story session. So this is a 1 or 2 hour photo session, and it includes 20 photos. So this is just available for a limited time. But if you're curious, go to my website, personalbrandphotography.se, and have a look and get in touch if you want to find out more. Payment plans, I always offer this anyway. So if you want to split your payments over a few months just to make it a little bit easier, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm offering online figures at the moment. So if you're thinking of maybe booking a photo session, but you don't know what that would look like or how I can help you, then just let me know and we'll book in a chat. So my first offer is a free 45-minute online figure to talk about what kind of photos you should be sharing and what your stories might be. I'm also giving away a £1,000 credit, and this can be used for photo sessions that are booked before 5 p.m. this Friday. And this can be used on any of my photo sessions, so my half-day session, my full-day session, or even the one-story brand session. That was everything I wanted to share with you today. So if you would like to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I'm usually on Instagram, so you can find me at Lamia Photography. My website's personalbrandphotography.se, and you can either just get in touch with me by filling in the contact form there, or send me an email at Janine@lamiaphotography.com. All right, have a great day. Bye.